Scotland are tearing up Europe, or should I say, more specifically, Hearts are tearing up football in Europe. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. It is the European Roundup show where we talk about the teams in action from Scotland in Europe through the Champions League, Europa League, and Europa Conference League. And I am absolutely buzzing after Hearts' 2-0 victory in Latvia. I've had some people tell me to pipe down. I've had some people say it was only against Riga. Well, I don't give a shit, right? When you've got Ballon d'Or, Andy Halliday in the middle of the park, doesn't matter who you're playing, Riga or Real Madrid, the result will remain the same. We'd have beat Real Madrid 2-0. We'd have beat Prime Barca 2-0. Andy Halliday, guys, eat your heart out. What a guy. What a legend. But we're actually going to start with the Celtic game, since that was in chronological order. It was the first game of the weekend or whatever, on the same night as Rangers, but they got played first. Celtic then did draw 1-1 with Shakhtar Donetsk in a game that, in my opinion, is probably 2 points dropped for Celtic. I think Celtic were going into this game looking to get their first one of the campaign. It didn't happen, but in fairness, it probably should have happened. 16 shots in total to Shakhtar Donetsk's 5. I do think Celtic here were the far better team. They had chances. The only problem is they just did not take them. I think Giamakis had the best of the lot, to be fair. About 8 yards out. You expect him to score it. John Hartson on commentary says that he missed by inches. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Inches isn't good enough. When you're a striker, when you're in the Champions League, when you've got a free shot at goal, man, for about 8 yards out, then missing by inches just isn't good enough. It's not going to cut it. And it didn't cut it for Celtic. But, I mean, we can't just blame Giamakis. I mean, there was other people that missed chances. We had Maeda missing chances. Jota missed a chance. I mean, pretty much every forward player for Celtic had a chance to score, and they didn't. But let's not make no mistake about it, right? Joe Hart was not good for the Shakhtar Donetsk goal. And there was a spell, when Shakhtar Donetsk scored and made it 1-1, there was a spell where Celtic absolutely fell apart. They were not good, and Shakhtar Donetsk looked the more likely team to score again. In fact, they did score again, but the ball was obviously over the line. I think it was offside as well. So 2 wrongs on this occasion do not make a right. Shakhtar Donetsk's second goal was rightfully ruled offside, or it was just ruled no goal, whatever. But Shakhtar Donetsk, for a 10-minute spell before half-time, were certainly the better team here. It did look like Celtic were in danger of falling apart, but they didn't fall apart in the second half. They did get back on the upper foot, but again, they just couldn't get the goal. They couldn't get the goal that would get them the win. So that means then that they get a point. Ange Postecoglou was happy with the performance, maybe not so much of the result. He says, I thought the performance was excellent, but that was not reflected by the result we deserved. They are a good team and they can cause you problems, but I think for the most part we handled it really well. We started the game well, and they got back into it with a goal, and we regrouped really well. We dominated the game in the second half and created opportunities and limited them. I couldn't ask any more of the players, and I am just disappointed we couldn't get the win. Well, I think most of Scotland's a bit disappointed that Celtic couldn't get the win, but I think we're more disappointed in the actions from some of the Celtic fans. And there could be a big fine actually coming Celtic's way, because you've got some inbred bastards that just kind of, sit silent there for a minute. So it's not hard to pay respect. It's not hard to be a fucking half-decent human being, but for some reason, Celtic fans, just for the next 60 seconds, weren't capable of that. But yeah, we'll talk about that more over the next coming days when UEFA, respond to the violation of what they're considering, their rules, whatever. I guess you're not allowed to do what Celtic done. I mean, I don't know if you should be punished, but it was let's be real, it's definitely distasteful. But whatever, I mean, that's up to UEFA. If they want to fine Celtic, then so be it. Moving into Group F, though, we'll look at the group. You can see then Shakhtar Donetsk with that draw. They move into fourth. They don't move into fourth place, but they're on 4 points. Move into second place. We're already in second place, but you know what I mean, guys. They're going to 4 points, then 2 behind Real Madrid. Real Madrid beat Leipzig, so Leipzig then remain bottom of the table with a -5 goal difference. Celtic with that point are in third place now. Celtic go head-to-head against Leipzig over 2 games, and it's going to be absolutely massive, man. Celtic need to at least win one of them, you feel. If they could win one and draw one, I think Celtic would 100% take that, because you would expect Real Madrid to beat Shakhtar back-to-back. So I think Celtic would even be happy with beating Leipzig and losing to Leipzig. I do think Celtic would take that, knowing just for the fact that Leipzig have lost to Shakhtar Donetsk, and that would mean that if Celtic can beat Shakhtar in the 5th game. They wouldn't even need anything as long as Leipzig beat Shakhtar in the last game. So, yeah, interesting. I still think Celtic will go through, but they've made it a lot harder for themselves by not winning in Ukraine. Let's talk about Rangers next then. 3-0 defeat to Napoli. Was it a better performance than they've been given us lately? Yes, it was. But at the end of the day, man, I don't think it was... I don't think it was a great performance by any means. It was a better performance than against Celtic and Ajax, but let's be real, it would be hard not to be. They were really, really bad in those two games. Almost looked like they weren't even trying. So yeah, I mean, Rangers definitely upped their game against Napoli. There was an improvement, but I've seen some people, be happy about this 3-0, celebrate this 3-0, congratulate, praise this 3-0. I don't think it deserves praise. I mean, I think they were better, but certainly I wouldn't say that, they were great or what a performance for Rangers. Not at all. I mean, let's be real. Yeah, they improved, but were they good? I wouldn't go that far. I'd maybe say they were decent. But at the end of the day, they still lost 3-0, kind of fell apart. I mean, we all know the stories with the penalties. I think the second penalty is one of the worst decisions I've ever seen. But I've already ranted about that in the match review, so I'm not really going to do it here. But I mean, you look at the attempts from Napoli, and I think they were the better team overall. Albeit, if Rangers don't get sent down to 10 men, maybe Napoli, maybe they don't win. Maybe Rangers manage to get a draw. Who knows? Maybe Rangers even nick it late, but they didn't. So that remains to be seen then. Doesn't look like it's going to be good for Rangers though. I mean, they're 2 games in, no points, and up next they have what many people would agree is the best team in the group. So with back-to-back games against Liverpool, how many points will Rangers realistically pick up? I think they need at least a minimum of 3, and that's not to finish in the top 2. I think if Rangers have got any ambition of continuing European football, aka at least finishing 3rd in this group, I think they need to find a win against Liverpool, whether it be at Ibrox or whether it be Anfield. As for Gio came out and he was happy with the performance, but not quite the result. He told BT Sport, there was a moment in the game where we didn't react well with the transition moment, and we had to step in to make sure we didn't give the chance away, and in the day we gave the chance away. The performance though was really good. The result wasn't good. I don't think we deserved a 3-0 loss if you see how the game went and how my players reacted after last week. I mean, for me, like I said, it was better, but I mean, it still wasn't a great performance. I wouldn't brag about the fact that, we played a little bit better and lost to Napoli 3-0. To me, that doesn't really sound right for a big club like Rangers. It sounds a bit pathetic, to be honest. And speaking of pathetic, the table doesn't look much better. You can see Rangers then played 2 games, 2 defeats, no goals, and 7 conceded. So, I just don't see how you can spin that. I mean, you look at Rangers' last 3 games, 4-0, 4-0, 3-0. That is, no goals scored, 11 goals conceded. I fail to see how Gio is not becoming more under pressure in terms of losing his job. I'm not saying he should lose his job, but I think there should be more people calling for his head, to be fair. And I don't think losing 3-0 to Napoli with a slightly better performance is anything to gloat about. So, it'll be interesting to see how Rangers go on against Liverpool. I mean, at least they've got a break, so they've got a few weeks off to try and improve, try and get better, but doesn't look too good for them. And last but not least, like I said, we had the Jam Tarts, we had the Jambos pulling off the first win for a Scottish team in this year's European group stage campaigns, beating Riga, beating Real Madrid, beating whoever you want, Andy Halliday, just dominating the midfield, controlling the game, doing what Big Andy does. I used to call him a Rangers reject. I'll never call him that again. From now on, he's Big Andy Ballon d'Or Halliday, in my opinion. Hearts, I mean, in this game did deserve the win, but it was nervous late on with only a 1-0 lead. Every time Riga came forward with their big men in the box, you always felt like they had a chance at equalising. But thankfully, Hearts did seal it late on. Forrest with the second goal. Good win for Hearts. Robbie Nielsen was buzzing. And I believe he said that Riga will be bouncing, or rocking even. Yeah, we brought over 2,000 fans here. Make no mistake, that's a lot of money to follow your club. But nights like tonight are what it's all about. Riga will be rocking tonight. I am so pleased with them. In terms of Robbie Nielsen going out to go rocking, he said that he was just maybe going to have a glass of wine back at the hotel. So fair play, Nielsen. I mean, he probably should have went out, man. It's not every night you get a European win away from home. So yeah, I wouldn't have begrudged Nielsen, a few bottles of wine out in the town. But nah, I guess he wanted a boring early night. And in terms of the group, then you can see Hearts move into second place. 1 win, 1 defeat, 3 points. Honestly, after losing 4-0 to Istanbul, I was beginning to think, this was just a step above Hearts. But Istanbul proving that not only can they beat Hearts, but they can also smash Fiorentina. Plus, Riga drew with Fiorentina. So that either tells me that Riga are not that bad or Fiorentina are pretty shit. But regardless, now Hearts have back-to-back games, a double-header against Fiorentina. And if they can, even if Hearts can just hold their own, if they get one win and one defeat, they'll probably, I can't imagine Riga's going to beat Istanbul, so Hearts will have a really good chance. If they can just split the games against Fiorentina, that would be great. They'd be on 6 points with 2 games remaining. One of those games would be a home tie against Riga, which you would expect Hearts to get 9 points from. Alright, we have to go away to Turkey, but Fiorentina also have to play Istanbul again. So, Hearts could be in a position where if they just win their next 2 home games, they might go through in second place, and that's what we need to hope for. Anyway, guys, that's it for the European roundup there. In terms of who's going to go through, I'm going to go for it. I think Hearts will get second place. I do think they will. Fiorentina, for me, haven't looked that great, and I've got faith that Hearts can, do it when it matters and get a really good result at Tynecastle, and who knows, maybe even get a draw in Italy. If Riga can, the way I've got to look at it, man, if Riga can get a draw in Italy, then why the fuck can't Hearts? Like I said, as for Rangers, I just don't see any way Rangers are going to get through. For me, they're going to finish last. I'd be surprised if they actually got a win. They might pick up a draw somewhere, but I don't see where a win's coming for Rangers in this group. I just really don't. And for Celtic, you know what? I do think Celtic will go through, and I think Shakhtar beating Leipzig will be a big reason for that. I just think that's helped Leipzig. I think that's helped Celtic massively. And like I said, all Celtic really need to do is beat Leipzig at home, beat Shakhtar at home, and chances are they'll go through. So, really that simple. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know who you think's going to go through. We're 2 games in out of 6. How many of these Scottish teams do you think will be playing European football past Christmas? Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time, leave a like, leave a comment. I'll catch you later, and peace.